How come you have a solution, but in Ghana, when you go marketing the solution, the people who want the solution do not hear it? The word CEO told me, I hate people who come to me to tell me about Excel, because in Excel, everything is possible. Because you can model anything and that. As entrepreneurs watching, whenever you are starting a business, be ready to refine the market as the business goes on.
Where is our real market? What are we doing that we are not actually attracting the market we thought was our market? What should we now do to attract others that we initially ignore? For what we are giving them is not what they're asking
for. The reason why we buy at that wachi joint is because we see people queue to buy. You may not have eaten that, but since you saw your neighbor park his car, buy that wachi. The following day, when you are going to work, you also park your car. And that is that the whole country is run by peer pressure. What you're saying is a very key thing that entrepreneurs must abide with. That you may have an idea and you may think that this is the market for you, but the markets always speak, whether audibly or not audibly.
Welcome to our podcast. If you're somebody that's hoping to do business, or you are somebody that is interested in scaling your business, this podcast is for you, because we're going to do a lot of unfiltered things. This podcast is going to give you a real insight into how businesses are transformed, how businesses change. This is doing business in Ghana.
Welcome. I had initially said that we would have a very special guest today. He's the CEO of Dynaspace, the owner of the space. And I think it's best if he introduces himself and tell us what he has for us. So Abe, welcome.
Thank you. My name is Abe Worwui. Founder of Dynaspace, which stands for Dynamic Spaces. It is basically to provide space for multi-function or multi-purpose space. So far as moral and legal.
You keep saying this.
Put that caveat there. We want to be able to provide space to do that. So that's our objective. Currently, we have this space here, which we found very ideal as our model to start with. And that's what we've been trying to let the market know.
I told you earlier that we are going to talk about the market. And Abe is here to talk more about how the market has showed him pepper. I mean, that's basically what we are going to talk about. Interestingly, I mean, everybody starts business thinking that the idea is very nice. I mean, you always fall. Nobody would just start business and want to throw money away. It always starts with, I think I have this thing that people would like, people would want to use, people would want to pay for. And when I do it, it will solve people's problem. But time without number, especially in Ghana, where the markets are not clear. I said it earlier on that in other jurisdictions, it's clear where to go for what. So if you are selling premium, you know exactly where to go for what. You know where the markets are. But in an undefined market like Ghana, where things are some way, it makes it very difficult to even know where your target market is. Because in Ghana, everything is like connection. Or, everything is like, even if you want to go, if you want to get a school for your child, if you want to, everything is through connection. It's not something that is straightforward. I think that actually complicates doing business in Ghana. I mean, what has been your experience with this? I mean, in terms of what you've been doing.
I mean, you're right about the complication of the market. So initially, what we thought was our market has proven not to be the market, because our initial market is, yes, we're set up in an apartment building with over 190 apartments. The occupants are mostly going to be business people coming in and going, traveling. They will need a space to work. They will need a space to meet. They will need a space to, do their own work, etc. So we're providing that convenience for those group of people. And also on top of that, perhaps some corporate institution, individual remote workers, etc. But our critical market was going to be...
I mean, the space is already built.
There's enough here to be able to feed the space. And that turned out completely not to be the case. We find more people outside of this space using our space than people who are in this space. So it kind of turned the whole business case on its head. So we are redefining our market.
In this podcast, we are actually treating a life case scenario. And I mean, my company as Eureka, our job is to find a Eureka moment always with these businesses. And Amy has said something very interesting too. And I think as a business owner, you can relate in one way or the other that you start a business. I mean, how difficult is it to sell a space to work to foreign expats who have gotten to Ghana and there are 190 apartments in this place? I mean, if you model it, let's say 10% are using the space.
Are nice.
I was in Uganda recently and one CEO told me, hey man, I hate people who come to me to tell me about Excel because in Excel, everything is possible. Because you can model anything and nothing. I mean, in your Excel sheet, I'm sure this place should have been fully booked and everybody running over the space. So, I mean, what you're saying is a very key thing that entrepreneurs must abide with. That you may have an idea and you may think that this is the market for you, but the markets always speak, whether audibly or not audibly. And in AB's case, like you're saying, I mean, it was very straightforward. A 190 apartment space, get spaces for people to work. It's straightforward. Therefore, they come in and they come and work. But he starts working and realizes that no, this is not what it is. This is not what I thought it was. A chunk of my market actually is out there. And the people in there have a different mind of their own. And it comes back to what I was talking about doing business in Ghana. Ghana, the markets are not predefined. That's the challenge. A space can be demarcated for, like for instance, this enclave. It's actually demarcated as a premium enclave. But you can find all sorts of activities that are not premium happening here. There are squatters. There are other settlements that have forced themselves into the space. So it makes defining your market very difficult. And that's why as entrepreneurs watching, whenever you are starting a business like Abe is doing now, be ready to refine the market as the business goes on. Your idea may be still solid, but the reception will let you know that no, perhaps what you thought or your assumption is not what it is. I mean, practically, let us know what you have practically done since you realize that. I mean, it's very painful to know that, Charlie, I've sunk capital in this particular space, hoping that per the books or a week or two, a month, a year, Charlie, this thing is done. But what have you practically done and what are you changing to make sure that you actually revive and set the place up? I hope perhaps even including this podcast.
We are forced to do podcasts now, right? It's interesting how something that is as straightforward as this, given the trend, the global trend, remote working after COVID, people want the flexibility. So, spaces like the entrepreneurs, wanting spaces to work, especially startups that cannot afford, to rent their own spaces. So, spaces like this should not be that difficult to sell, because it's happening in other countries. I mean, that's the model. I've seen it work. I think another story I mentioned, I went to India and this model was working fantastic. It was so. Yeah, coming back to, so we are learning as we go. And I think the key thing is you have to be ready to learn as you go, because the reality hits in when you start.
Yeah.
And it's the customers that tell you what is working or what is not working. So you haven't seen the trend. We have to do something differently. We have to go back to our assumptions and say, okay, where is our real market? What are we doing that we are not actually attracting the market we thought was our market? What should we now do to attract others that we initially ignore?
That they were not.
Because so that learning, that process is ongoing. And we've learned it the bitter way, right? So, speaking to our existing customers, profiling them, knowing that, okay, these are the people that uses our space. So these are the profile of people we need to target. And also, why are people not even known about us? I mean, for you, for example, you've been an entrepreneur, you use spaces, you meet people, you meet consultants, you've not heard about Dynaspace until somehow you're connected to it, through one of the folks that I was trying to catch to help me solve my problem, So why? So those are the questions we ask. Why are the people that we now think should use the space not even aware of the space? And it goes back to asking all the questions around market positioning, the messaging, where we message, how we even promote ourselves. A lot happens in this space. Happens. But how do we...
Like podcast now.
Now we're a podcast. How do we use that, to let other people know, this is happening? We have all sorts happening. Book launches, we have
movies.
We have, ads being shot here.
And I'm sure that was not part of your initial proposition. That
it was just a space that anybody who feels it can use it for something, obviously, come to. But so we were a bit open to catch
what has helped you.
I think that's what has helped us. So I think it's just redefining that, what our market actually means and what are they asking for. What we are giving them is not what they're
asking for.
So we're in that process now, asking those questions, answering them, trialing some of the answers that we are finding, tweaking as we go, which is a very expensive way to do it. But it's also necessary because you have to adapt, to the market. Like having this conversation now.
Definitely.
Is all the learnings we've learned.
Two things that Abe has said that I think it should resonate with a lot of business people and those starting is the fact that doing business in Ghana is quite different, which I said in my introductory video. Something that worked perfectly in India and other places is not working in Ghana. It's not necessarily because it will not work in Ghana, but like you rightly say, it needs a certain tweaking to fit the culture in Ghana. That was one of the things that entrepreneurs must come to accept, that the fact that there is something that is working in another culture doesn't mean if you pick and you bring it into our culture, it will work. Yeah. And therefore, you should be ready for the iterations because it will work. And we definitely know, and we'll tell that story, which is why we're doing some of these things, that it works, it will work. But it will not work the way it worked elsewhere. Even the demographics of the people that may have patronized elsewhere may not be the same demography that is patronizing here, because the use cases may be different. As you come down, the second thing that you've spoken about, so first is realizing that there's a need for you to test your assumptions. And as time goes on, you should be ready to adapt. The second thing we spoke about was the connections. We met through somebody that you wanted to engage to solve this problem for, and said, no, I know a guy who can rather do this for you. In Ghana, like I always say, and it feeds to the third part that you spoke about, that how come you have a solution, but in Ghana, when you go marketing the solution, the people who want the solution do not hear it. So always there is a market to product fitness where entrepreneurs find it difficult that I knew this product should work, and I know the catchment area of the people that should be advertised to. However, I went there and I played the music, yet they did not dance. So when you're doing business in Ghana, one of the core reasons, like I introduced and said, was that in analyzing your business, one of the things we saw was that in Ghana, like we said, ideally this area should have a certain demography, not anything low. But you find yourself finding people that are not supposed to be in this area being in there, even more than the people who are supposed to be in there, because they may be renting the space for something other than what the owner intended it for. And that's what we are talking about, that the owner would have intended that here may be a high premium expert area, but maybe the people who bought it and are reusing it, or those who are utilizing the space, are different from the intended people, and therefore there's a huge gap. So if you sell it to the people you think who are supposed to be here, they are not here. So you would always in Ghana have to be careful when you're identifying who you are selling something to.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. So perhaps you may probably end up selling to the people that you think they are the ones, but they're not the people that actually
using that thing. Yes.
So that assumption that these are the people who are, is flawed, because they may own it, but they're probably the ones that are using it constantly. So
it is what it is. That in Ghana, that's how the market is. So if you are not careful, where you expect a certain demography to be, they may not be there. Like I said, it ties to the connection part. It will take you somebody to hold your hand and say, I know where the people you are looking for are. They're actually meeting here. They are here. And that person is the most integral part in our society in Ghana. And everybody knows that kind of person that, if you go to Mr. A, you can get probably access to all the ambassadors in Ghana. If you go to Mr. B, you can get access to every person that matters in this sector in Ghana. And that's always the person that you would need to find or have a way of connecting to and you should always be ready in the market that you never know who that person may be. It could be even the houseboy of the person you are looking for. And it makes Ghana's market such a way that you need to treat everybody with utmost respect, because you may not know who can connect you to the market that you are looking for. Because the market you are looking for is not in plain sight. In other musicians, there is a website that you can just Google and find the data, and then, they are here. You just go, you sign up, I'm a member of this, bam, you are good to go. So it's very interesting that, like, as entrepreneurs, we need to learn this thing about doing business in Ghana, that it's a humbling thing for you to realize that the markets are there. And definitely there's a market for dynamic space. Like, there are people who need dynamic spaces for their photo shoots, for their podcast, for their conferences, for their meetings, for their training program. Because I'm a trainer and I never heard of such a space, because where do trainers meet in Ghana? That's the question you should be asking yourself. There's no hub for trainers. A trainer could be everywhere and nowhere. So you would need that connection person. I mean, since we met, the number of exchanges we've had in terms of exchanges of connections that we have has been immense. So it's important as a business owner or a business person, you try to connect as much as possible, because it's in your connections that you find your market. Because one person can just pull everybody out of the sack that you thought was actually covered, and you are good to go. I think that's why I think it makes influencers work so important in our part of the world. I mean, have you had any engagement with any influencer since you started?
Not directly,
Okay.
but I think the development has got a number of influencers that were in the space that spoke about our space and what we do. So yes, indirectly we had very prominent ones coming here, speaking about signature itself, what is innate, all that stuff. So yes, I would say it happened. It happened. Yeah, it gives us some airtime, some spotlights, but I think is whether or not we've seen that effect trickle down. It might trickle down to all the others.
Maybe it may not even trickle down like that, as you see. One thing we've seen about the Ghanaian culture is it takes a lot, and that comes back to the connection. We are a society that's so connected that nobody does anything on their own except by recommendation. So I'm sure if you ask all our viewers, have you seen signature building before? The answer will be yes. Do you know how to enter the place? A majority will say no, including all the people that we are working with, that they've never even attempted to go there unless by recommendation. I think Ghana is the best recommender system.
Who you know?
I think the whole country is run by a recommender system. Yeah.
How connected you are?
Yeah. So
absolutely.
Because I'm sure as I'm talking to viewers now, there's none of people's mindset are coming that, oh, signature actually is open to the public, and I can just walk in and actually have a meal, go to the gym, go to the swimming pool, come to Dynaspace and learn and read and have my quiet time as low as 60 cedis for the hot desk. And you are good to go. And you can finish a very serious work within, let's say, an hour.
You're gone.
And you are gone.
Start watching money.
But it's like, it always requires somebody telling the person, I've used the space. I love the space. So what business owners must know is, one is the connection, two is to make sure that there are a lot of experiential videos where it's not just saying that I have the space. It's about telling people who has used the space and want to belong. I said, if there is one major selling point in Ghana, is the sense of belonging. The whole country is run on peer pressure. Yeah.
Where you belong.
Everybody wants to belong. It's like even on tribal lines, on religious lines, on school lines, on everybody runs things based on belonging. Oh, it belongs to an old school mate. It belongs to a friend, an auntie's sister. You can ask anybody that anywhere they've gone to, and you ask them in your day, check your day, where do you go to? You realize that every school, the school I'm sure you send your children to, you will definitely want, it was by some form of recommendation, I believe.
Absolutely. Yes.
So it's important that as entrepreneurs, that branding should be at a sense of belonging. And we've discussed this thing for Dynaspace. I mean, just tonight, you were able to send certain contacts to me, and that sense of belonging makes me feel that I can come here more because I'll meet the people that I want to connect to. So you can talk more about that sense of belonging and what you are trying to build here at Dynaspace.
No, great, thanks. So we're actually trying to build an ecosystem, right? So, I mean, yes, the space is great. But it's not just the space, it's what happens within the space and what value the space brings. For example, I've met people that I've not met in my career.
For security reasons, you can't mention
their names, but I met people that, I normally wouldn't have met. But somehow I met them here because they probably came to an event here or, came with someone, or they're just inquiring about space. So it just tells the connection around space. I think, yes, as we have the space, what is the additional value of the space? How do we create an ecosystem? For example, today we're able to connect with somebody who is running business that we both can potentially work together. I mean, you may come here, you're looking for maybe a lawyer or somebody to help you with your business, your tax. We're able to connect you with that. So we're creating that ecosystem that is easy, like you said, sense of belonging and, trusting someone because you were told by somebody you trust.
Which is the space.
Exactly.
So the space becomes what we all trust, exactly. And we are all under the umbrella.
So that's what we are trying to drive. Yes, the space brings you together, but it's what it brings you together for. And that's what we are trying to drive. So it brings you together for a business connection. You're able to sign a deal, create a new business. You're able to come here, form ideas, and create something new, like your team meeting here, doing stuff, So I think it's the reason for the space. Somebody once mentioned, I came to this space and I wrote a book. I wrote my whole book in your space. I was like, really? That's awesome. So it's the that we need to really articulate on. What is the space meant for? And how is it going to help people when they come into the space here? When you come into the space, you have the potential of meeting somebody or you making an impact on somebody that you met in space. So it's both ways. And the probability of doing that is high because you meet like-minded people within the space. Because people trust the space to give them that.
What kind of value?
So that's the ultimate. The space become a value driver, that makes a difference. All the time you come here, you pay for a space, you're going to be productive. And on top of that,
there is a sense of belonging and a connection.
Yeah.
I mean, it's powerful what you're trying to build here, the ecosystem you're trying to build here. So, I mean, like we rightly said, it's simple on paper.
It's simple.
But we have to
very simple.
Start doing podcasts. We have to do all sorts of things to make sure we get to our clientele. But one thing that you've said here that I'm thinking about is the fact that, I mean, personally, my team and I have been working from here, and it's been remarkable the level of productivity for us. I mean, there's a free advert, I know, but I mean, that is what it is. But I would never have known until one of my workers actually recommended the space. So it makes, like I said, business in Ghana is mainly on connection. So if you're a business person and you can't run the business around connection, like what you're saying, it brought to mind the reason why we buy at that Wachi joint is because we see people queue to buy. You may not have eaten that, but since you saw your neighbor probably park his car, buy that watch, the following day when you are going to work, you also park your car. And that is the whole country is run by peer pressure. So people always want to see somebody they trust. So when you are doing business, always find people that people trust, especially if your product can actually give that value to the people. And then let that person be the person selling it. Because in the market space, people just don't listen to anybody. Today I introduced a lady to you that does business, and we'll be interviewing her very soon about doing business in China. And you've met her now. Now it's like it's easier to do business in China right from today. Sure. But the thing is, this is a lady, and I'm sure she'll tell her story. This is a lady that had been doing this for a while. But when somebody that the ecosystem trusts, in the like of Zion Felix, interviewed her, it became a point that you may not have listened to if you were just blabbing out there. And because somebody trusts the person in doing the interview, it's like a lot of people watch it, including yourself. And today, she's able to sell her wares well. So always go for people that others trust, especially if you can deliver value. And the story has to be connected to some people. I mean, the reason why it's a story like you even watch is because of the storyline. That a university graduate who went out there and instead of just going to school and finishing, decides to start a business. And everybody can relate. So that comes back to storytelling and even in business. I mean, it's important that whatever you're selling, you let your customers or your audience relate it in the story in which, like what you're telling us now, that I just did not start this space just for selling spaces. The story is that you come here to finish some productive work that you may not be able to finish in your own office. I was here earlier and there was a team having a Teams meeting, a strategy session. If they are in their office, perhaps everybody would disturb them. I had another CEO come here and said, this will be my hideout from today because in the office, any time I open my window, everybody knows I'm in. So I need a hideout. Connect to the CEO watching us that, Charlie, if I need a hideout, if I need a place to finish very important work, maybe do and work overnight with a pool bubbling with nice views. You can eat at Ala or any other place you order from, and
you're
then
good to go.
You're good to go. So I think the stories really, I mean, right from childhood, we have heard our dancer stories. We are talking about doing business in Ghana. So if you're doing business in Ghana, tell stories that the people can connect. And that is how the people would want to relate with you. Not tell some foreign linkage stories that, oh, in America, like you said, a lot of people come, I saw this happening in America or in India, and let me throw it to the people. No. They don't care about that. What they really care about is,
it has to be connected.
I'm not talking about what I saw in India, but I'm saying that how can we, as Africans, connect with one another to build an ecosystem where we are encouraging each other, exchange ideas, I mean, for the last 2 months or a month I've been here, the number of ideas we've exchanged as entrepreneurs, I think you can write like 3 books already. I mean, you were the first person that actually encouraged me to even do this podcast, which was in my pocket all this while.
Now we're doing it.
Now we are doing it, and you are the first person I've interviewed. So I think if you're doing business, I think these nuggets are for you.
Yeah.
And I'm sure, maybe if you have any last words. One thing I want to probably add was that, maybe you've done other businesses. How different, how difficult is this one compared to what you've done?
Yeah, this is different. I think the other businesses are product-based businesses where it's about understanding the supply chain and making it work. This is a service-oriented business, so it requires a different way of handling it. This requires a lot more attention, a lot more babies. There's uniqueness to it that you need to pay attention to. So, the other businesses, retail pharmacy.
Pharmacy don't even advertise.
I mean, it's straightforward. This is different, and you know, I raise my hearts out to those in hospitality, those in service-oriented businesses that are succeeding, because they really have to understand what the customers want to succeed. So, if you're trying to go into services business, you know, really think through it. Just know they have the tenacity to keep going, because it can be very, very dynamic. But with persistence and trying to solve the right problems, I think in a matter of time you learn those lessons, and hopefully you will overcome them and make it.
All right. Abe would be one of my permanent guests in this podcast. So I think this is one of many to come. He convinced me to do this, so it's only right for me to also put him on the spot and make sure that. So this will be shot at Dynaspace at different locations. You would be surprised how come the same location has different angles, and that's what we are asking you to come here and try it out. I've actually benefited immensely, and my team I mean, we keep on enjoying the space. So if you're looking for a place for your team, a place for your conference, a place for your trainings, I believe that just walk into Signature. Don't be the Ghana man, the pure Ghana man, I mean. Be that person that is willing to explore. Just take a reach out and just come to Signature and come and tour the place. Just have a seat. Just work from here one day and see the difference with how you have been working all this while. So thank you, Abe, for
your first podcast.